We'll continue tracking developments. Meanwhile, we've heard that Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi is speaking to the press. Let's cross live.
We are not producing the same number of manufacturing jobs that China is producing. And I'm curious to find out from you, what is that reason? What are those reasons? And I'm sure there are people here who can answer the question for me.
Someone out there? Shanaz?
Maybe there are lots of reasons, as you are saying. But sir, if you see closely, sir, the employment opportunities, the laws we have, the labor-oriented laws, sir. You are saying, sir,
the labor laws?
Labor laws, sir, 100 rupees a day, sir. This is not justice. Yet, sir, if you specifically to answer your question, sir, this is the irony. This is the irony that we are discussing this thing, sir. We are comparing with China, sir. China is producing lots of goods at a very cost-effective price, which we are not. Somewhere down the line, we have to admit, somewhere we are lacking. So,
and my question to you, sir, is where?
Sir, maybe the will.
I don't think it's the will. I don't see any shortage of will among the students here, for example. I see each one of you has a lot of will, lot of potential. Somehow,
maybe all are not empowered.
You said labor laws. Sir. What about labor laws?
Labor laws are specific. They are very specific. That, sir, if a person is working for this much hours as specified, then he or she is to get the amount of remuneration. If it is not, then it falls. If it is illegal, or you can say that that this person is that she or he is deprived of his or her remuneration. So, sir, in that process, if we do it, okay, fine. But now the question is that we have to compete with the rest of the world. We have to be also economically sound. So, in that case, sir, we have to do something drastic. For example, sir, if you remember the first 5-year plan, India's first 5-year plan was, sir, we based our first 5-year plan on agriculture. Agriculture was the main issue. And later on, after the subsequent 5-year plans, industry was taken. But till now, it's very unfortunate that we haven't. So, sir, as part of geography, history, culture of our country, it's my own personal opinion. Sir, I would like to suggest that as our generations, as our ancestors have flourished, we all know that we were called the golden bird, quote unquote. We were called the golden bird of this world, spice, etc., everything. So, sir, I would like to suggest, my suggestion is that why not, sir? Why not we scope up the potential? SWOT technology, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. So we have the strength. Agriculture is our strength. Why not we empower? People should be educated. Agricultural university should come. People should be educated in such a way that why not you prosper in agriculture? There are examples like Haryana, Punjab. These people are prospering. They are buying Mercedes, BMWs by producing huge number of agriculture. So why not? So maybe we should not stick. There is no straitjacket formula that for development only you have to industrialization is only the way. There are other ways also.
We have a lot of young minds waiting online.
So there may be many reasons, but according to me, the present level of power generation of our country is lacking.
Okay.
And it's not adequate to give a boom to the manufacturing sector.
Okay.
So
that by the way is one element of the answer. So, and that's an important element of the answer. Go on.
So I think we need to, in the last 10 to 20 years, we have seen that government is trying to its best to increase the power generation of our country, but we should try for more.
By the way, do you think India is doing badly, or do you think India is doing well in comparison to other countries of the world?
So in comparison to other countries of the world, though our rate of development may not be equal to the developing country, but to all the other developed countries, but there are many unique and specific problem, India specific problem. So there are many countries who don't have to face these problems, but India is facing many internal problems. So these internal problems are resulting in the slowing down of Indian development?
Actually, compared to pretty much every other country in the world, India is doing very well. We're a huge country, so we don't realize how well we are doing. But today, we are the second fastest growing country in the world. We're actually doing much better than the developed countries. But there are issues in India as well that we have to tackle. The question you asked about manufacturing, there are a couple of things. One is what you said. If you want to create large numbers of jobs, you have to have infrastructure that supports those jobs. That means you have to have power. That means you have to have connectivity, roads, bridges, ports, so that you can move this product out. Manufacturing is about products. So once you create the product, once the factory makes a car, that car has to be able to move. It has to be able to go to a port, to be exported, or go to a city, and it has to move at low cost. So the cost of moving things in India compared to China is very high, because our roads are not as good, our ports are not as good, our infrastructure is not as good, first. Second, if you want to build manufacturing, you have to build entrepreneurship. You have to give people like you the ability to create a factory. And in order to build entrepreneurship, we need to give you finance. We need to connect you to a bank. We need to protect you when you fail. For example, in the United States, if you go bankrupt, it is not a shame. It is, he failed once, he's going to try again. Whereas in India, if you go bankrupt, society says, my God, you failed. So there is a culture here where failure is seen as a very bad thing. When some of you fail your exams and you go back home, it's seen as a very horrible thing. In fact, you can learn from failure. The best way to learn, and I've seen this in my life, and I'm sure many of you have seen it in your life, that you don't actually learn with success. Because when you succeed, everybody claps and you say, oh, what a great person he is. You actually learn from failure. And you have to have an attitude to learn from failure. So these are some of the things that we have to change if we want to actually build large numbers of jobs. To me, the most important thing you have to change is that today, most of our systems, whether they are education systems or they are government systems, they do not serve the end user. So for example, if I ask you about what you study, your input does not go into your curriculum. You're just told, this is the book, please read it. Right? And the more we ask you, what do you want? What do you want to study? What do you want to become? I had a conversation like this some weeks ago with students in Bangalore. And one girl stood up and she said, you know, I'm being forced to study something I don't want to study. My parents are forcing me to study it, then I'm going to have to do that work, and I actually don't want to do that work. Now, do you think she'll do that work well? No way. So, we have to build the education system around you. What do you want to do? You want to become a good social worker. Well, if she wants to become a good social worker, there's no reason she should become an engineer. We should support her to become a good social worker. You want to become an engineer? Well, we should support you to become an engineer. So we have to become much more centric to what our people want. Today, our politicians come, they give a big speech, and then they go home. That's why I wanted to come here. I wanted to chat to you and ask you, what is it that you think is important? What are the type of things that we should be doing so that you're more comfortable? Because at the end of the day, we work for you.
We have online Shri Perembudur, and I think they have a question. Can you hear us?
Rahulji, good morning from Shri Perembudur.
Good morning.
We have the opportunity. This is C.R. Keshavan, the Vice President, and we have the opportunity again because RGNI Shri Perembudur is always fortunate to have a large contingent of Northeast youth. They listened to your speech yesterday in Guwahati. They were very happy when you talked about the Quran, the Gita, and the Guru Granth Sahib, talking about respect to everybody. We've been discussing here for a couple of days They have some tough questions for you, Rahulji. And I told them you can ask anything you want because he's very open. There is no premeditated answers here. I'm going to pass it on to them, Rahulji, and they will ask you questions.
They are looking very
now.
serious.
No, because Rahulji, because they have some really questions of real gravity for you, sir.
Okay.
1 second.
Just to point out that Shri Perembadur has made an effort to get a lot of students from Northeast on
I
this
noticed.
show.
Please introduce yourself to Rahulji and ask.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. I am Chanu Yaipabi from Manipur. I am pursuing Master in Local Governance at RZNYD. Sir, only after coming here, Sri Perembadur, I have attended, celebrated Independence Day and Republic Day, and I have chance to sing national anthem like Jana Gana Mana also. When I was in Manipur, due to some strike, ban, insurgency problem and other difficulties, I and along with my friends could not celebrate these important days. But here, I have friends from Mizoram, Sikkim. They do not have such type of difficulties, and they have smooth functioning in education institutions also. I think the presence of Armed Forces Special Power Act in Manipur is also responsible for our social harmony. It affects our state also. So what is your view? As the Armed Forces Special Power Act, which badly affected our normal living peoples and students in the states. Thank you, sir.
Well, there are two competing ideas. There are two competing ideas when it comes to governance. One idea says that governance should be done in a centralized manner by one person. And another idea says that governance should be done by giving as much power to people as possible.